Like when they killed the head of this, here's how the Arab head works, they stop going to their funeral of their friends because they know that there's all tigers in the funeral, right? so what do? They're like, okay, we got he didn't go to this what's his name? He didn't go to the funeral of the head of Iran, right? But they made a coronation for the new guy, and he shows up there, and they killed him then. They didn't have that's, you know. It's a lovely story.
Because the kiss of death.
Tremendous. Yeah. Okay, so basically, yes. Tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday we saw the Gemara that says brings who is it? It brings a brisa that Shnai Merchim Betalis. What's the din? Yachleiku. A machmir ravo b'shvua. Right? But the brisa didn't say shvua. The question is what you take a shvua? We saw from Machlekes, the Rambam, the Taisus, and the Rosh. Rambam says the shvua is on the shah. You don't take a shvua on the whole thing. You don't take a shvua on the shah. You can megagal the shvua on the rest of it. The Taisus says you take a shvua on the whole thing. My nafkamina between the two shitas. So one nafkamina is if they're holding the whole thing. If they're holding the whole talis, so if he Taisus, each one has to take a shvua on the whole thing. Whatever he's taking, whatever. But if either Rambam, you don't take any shvua b'chal. There's nothing to be taken. So you got there's no big shvua. Not enough to mina will turn out if either Rambam. If someone says, I don't want to take a shvua, I'm not taking a shvua. I have a Kabbalah not take shvuas, especially when I'm wrong. I want to take a shvua. So what's it then? Fig Taisus, he doesn't get anything. You see the Rambam, he gets what's in his hand, because that's Kapasik Domi. It says, okay, that's how we started off. Then we've got Gemara that says, I want to read the next few lines of the Gemara. A little bit Chazar, back up. We're up to Amar B'Shashe. Shmamana Yisud Kivitavis B'Shalosh Shalosh Kavita Beivanos Nereyu. The command the Pasik Dami V'Kani. Once you have 3 by 3 in your hands, we say why 3 by 3 because 3 by 3 is a beged. Less than 3 by 3. It doesn't have a beged legabe tuma. Not a beged, therefore it's nothing. But if you have 3 by 3 that's kapad to Pasik Dami, it's like it's cut off. It's cut. Same. Gemara, so my shna midor chista, double chista, get biyada mishicha biyadai. Someone gives a get to his wife. He doesn't like it too much. He gives her a get. He's trying to make her life difficult. So what does he do? He puts it in her hand, but he's still holding on to the mishicha. What's a mishicha? The straps, the kakashta. He's got some type of. He gives her a get with a handle, right?
It's got a handle on it, as they say in Chinese.
No strings attached. This is not no strings attached, this is strings attached. This is where they're saying no strings attached off from the fair, right? Yeah. Why should you ever say no strings attached? Make like strings attached. No strings attached to the get, right? So he gives her a get and the strings attached.
Maybe it's a coin is what they get kosher.
Oh. He's going to start undoing it.
So he has strings attached. So get biyada mashicha biyada. Im yochel natkai v'lavia yetzlai enum grashes. If he could pull it away from her, she's not grashes. V'im lav legorash. So you see. So why is it? So you see, that's not called v'nosan. Just by giving her something, if he could put it away, that's not called v'nosan. So why, if you give him, if I let you grab onto 3 by 3 of my shirt, that's called v'nosan. If I'm holding onto the shirt, I let you hold on to 3 inches of it. Why is that called I gave it to you? But by get, that's not called I gave it to her. Might not come in her. Stira, kasha, huh?
Kasha.
It's a good kasha, yeah.
Why?
The Gemara has to say, you know what the difference is? By get, there's a special din.
Lots of the other.
But by get, it says, you have an asina. You haven't seen the baguette, you have creases. Creases means it's done, it's finished, ending, it's complete. Hey, you still got a chance to put it away. Bit of a chiddush, but okay.
Why is it a chiddush?
That's not called creases. You give it back creases. I will tell you that you make that Joshua yourself.
No,
Get creases. If you're holding on to it, it's in the scene. You gave it 100%. Since you put it away.
You said it's not cut off. It's not cut off. Your kasha is if you say that 3x3 is a cut off. That's the kasha.
Yeah, taking 3 by 3 is a cut off. So here also it's a cut off. Why is it not called?
Here's not a cut off. You still got it.
Also, crease being a veleka. Achanasin being a vaika. Okay, so 1 minute, hold on. So we saw yesterday, right, that there's a machlekes by chalipin. Ramban says, Dova Poshet, Maisish B'chol Yoim.
Keep it. Don't keep it.
Ramban says you can't be tightest. You can't keep the watch. You got to give it back. It's not. The whole point of it was you give the watch to be married. You give the watch to be chal. That's right. The point wasn't to give you the watch. The point was just some Maisa that in the Samel there's going to be a kinyan taking place over here. Right? You can't be tightest. We saw Taisa says in Kedushin Dav Vav that you can be tightest. Can be tightest. The Gemara says in Kedushin Dav Vav, what's the Gemara there? Someone's Mekadesh Isha with a Matona Amanas Lachzir.
Oh.
What's a Matona Amanas Lachzir? I'm giving you my car for the month. It's yours, but I want you to give it back to me.
Ah, one second. So much is Mekudesh for the month.
She's not Makdish, she's not Mekudesh.
Loan for the month.
Nothing, it's not Kedushin. There's no Kedushin this month. Either it's Kedushin, it's not. That's not called Kesef. So, there's a Machlekes. Rishayim or even Goinim, what's the din? Is it the Rupai Goin says it's Gzeira? You might think like Gzeira of Chalipin. It looks like Chalipin, and if you be Mekadesh with the Matara Masla'adzer,
It's as if it's chalipin.
it'll be Mekadesh with Chalipin. Tais, right? There was Taisus, Rafai says the same thing. Other Rishayim say no. It's mamish chalipin. It's not gzeira. It's midaraisa. It's not chal. Midaraisa is not chal. Midaraisa. The question is midaraisa kedushin medan mazach chal or not?
One second. It's a total of places of the Ramban. If you don't give it back, or you have to give it back.
So the question is, if you don't have to give it back, right? Why would you make a gzeira or to chalipin if you don't have to give it back? If you don't have to give it back, if chalipin you don't have to give it back, so why is matara mazlat to daven chalipin? You don't have to give it back. Hey, you're giving it back. You got to give it back. Chalipin, you don't have to give it back. That's Tais's kasha. And that's what the Chai is bothering everyone. Taisha says, you know why? Because most of the time with chalipin, you do give it back. Even though you don't have to give it back, the kinyan isn't giving it back. The kinyan is you give it to the guy. It's his. But since most of the time we give it back, Taisha says, Si beligzor. She made Xera. Made Xera up to the minute. The minute is to give it back, so you don't want people to end up being Mekadesh Chalipin. That was Taisus. You saw the Ran. The Ran says that must be that she can't keep it. Why? Because if you could keep it, it would be Chal. Because it would be Chal. In fact, everybody, what do you mean it would be Chal? It's before Shemishna. The Ishanek is Bekesh Sh'na'aliyah. Kaddish is not Chal with Chalipin. Why would it be Chal? So you saw the Kodesh Yaakov wants to say that it should be Chal, but there's Chalipin, there's Kesef Shabbai.
It wasn't.
He didn't mean that. Kasha, he himself blinds a bit Shvab. He says that's going to be trying to run. It should work with those Kesef Shabbai.
Enough minute would be if there's no money in the chalipin.
If it's not worth it, put it
Yeah, no. Kedushin need kavanah.
The question is, do you need kavanah for this Meister Kinyan?
Right.
The Chayr not. Because the Gemara says if you Mekadesh B'shtar, the Shtar's with the Pruta, even if the Shtar's possible, she's Mekadesh with the paper, with the parchment. Now we saw Rav Shmaya, places more down Rav Shmaya that says for kinyan chalipin you need to have Eidim there. Right? You need to have Eidim. And the Rivon Taisus board says, Vaisim Cholan, people can come without Eidim. We saw, but the Makna says that the reason why you need Eidim is because otherwise you can't give her the chayfetz. The Eidim provide the color with the pen, or the ropa color pen. You can't take it from this poor guy, you stole his pen. Yeah. The L'chaira, so Rav Amram says, why do you normally use the pen why don't you ever use the pen in the chuppah? Why do you use our pen? Why are you busy using a pen from the Rav? Why didn't she come to the chuppah, besides spending $10,000 on a wedding dress, bring a handkerchief and do a Ma'aseh kinyan? Why are you using his?
Use the veil.
Yeah, you use something else. You don't use a veil, because maybe, let's see, the Me'iri, if you can't take it off, then it's not chal, right? But she can come with a tissue and say, hey, why is that the minig Yisrael? That you use the Rav's handkerchief. It's so strange.
Dresses don't have pockets.
Now that you said this whole shtickle Torah, it's got to be her handkerchief, right? So bring your handkerchief. He's got to buy a ring. He's got to spend $50 on a ring and give it to her. So she should bring a handkerchief. You know what he says? Because he can keep it, right? Because with chalipin, you can be typhus. So what's going to happen? You'll have chasadim to keep it, and it'll create machlokes. She's giving aldas
It'll be like a double ring
to come back, right?
It'll be like a
It'll be like a double ring ceremony. Maybe it's zero at the double ring ceremony.
He's asking the question, halacha l'maaseh.
Allah.
In the Yitzhak Hashem. Your daughter.
Oh.
That's why you need to know.
So you need to know, right? So why? So he says because there'll be machlokes. That's the reason why you use the handkerchief of the Rav. We don't want the guy to grab it.
You want the pen for the chuppah? I'll give you now.
You gotta get a nicer pen than
See what I mean? There's always.
It's a design. It's a
No,
blend.
but I told you yesterday that the Rav always asks the color. Is it worth it? Yeah, otherwise not. It has to be worth
You've
something.
got to tell them also what it's worth. I think they're muck with it because she shouldn't have dust. She thinks it's $1,000 ring, but really it's only $50. She has dust and $1,000.
stone or any etchings.
Yeah.
Wedding ring.
That's why it's plain, right?
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be confusing with the value.
Right. The thing is, most people have no idea what it costs unless they look into it anyway. So you got to tell
Yeah,
them.
but as long as it's worth it has to be worth $8.
No, it's what, $50?
You know,
$70.
but
You have an idea.
16-year-old Yerushalmi guy probably has no idea.
Give a reasonable
Does
estimate.
it know what a ring is?
I don't think he guesses it's worth $50.
You have to,
I had no idea
You
it
have
was
to work
$50.
hard. You have to work hard, traveling between all the shuls and what they chose out, collecting money for this.
Yeah.
It's good. It's real hard work.
I tell you, Maestro Kachaya, I tell you a story. You're on camera. This is on camera. I used to have a store in Yerushalayim, right? And we sell blankets. So a Yerushalmi couple comes in. I used to have a girl work for me. She was half Sephardi, half Ashkenazi. She looked like 100% Sephardi, but she spoke fluent Yiddish.
Yeah.
But she didn't speak it. She understood. She wouldn't actually speak. Anyway, Maestro Kachaya, couple comes in. They're like, how much does it cost for blankets? She's like, there's two. There's for 500. There's for 1,000. She's like, okay. The guy says, okay, go sit down. 500 shekel one. So the wife turns around to the husband. And Yiddish says, do another sivuv in the shtibel and buy the 1,000 shekel one. So they bought the 1,000 shekel one. Aye. Geweldig story. Mamish, Meister shekel. Wow.
It's a good story for Shabbos Sheva.
Yeah. So now you know where your shekels are going to. Achnasa kala. That's where it started. It's not achnasa kala. Achnasa kala.
With a kuf, not with a
Easy income.
Easy money.
The Ravid has a huge chiddush here. The Ravid says every time you do a kinyan suda, you need to have Eidim. Maybe that's why he uses the chalipin of the Eidim, the handkerchief of the Eidim. You can't do kinyan suda without Eidim. Just like you can't do kedushin without Eidim, and you can't do get without Eidim. There's two types of Eidim, we said. There's Eidei Birur and there's Eidei Kiyum. Right? So kedushin and gerushin you need Eidei Kiyum for. You need Eidim for it to actually happen. Even if everyone's made over, there's a video recording, He says I married you. She says I married you. If you don't have Eidim, it's not Eidim Kiyum. It's not just to make it to testify for proof. It's not just for proof. If Eliyahu comes down and says, yeah, he gave her the ring, they're not married. You need to have Eidim there at the time. If you have Moshe and Aaron, and that Eidim Psulim, they're not married. They're not married. So why would you need Eidim Kiyum for kinyan chalipin? He says you need Eidim Kiyum for any chalipin, not just for marriage. Chalipin doesn't work for marriage. But you want to buy a car with chalipin, you need Eidim Kiyum.
Who says?
Right.
You just said Tosa said that, no?
No.
You said one of the first you said you need Eidim for kinyan chalipin. You said that before.
Did I?
Yes.
The Tosfot mentions that we do the kinyan
With
Sudav Eidim.
you use the suit of the Eidim,
But it
right?
doesn't
So
mean
the
that
of the
it has to
Eidim,
have
not Eidim.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. You don't need Eidim there, but if they're there, so you use their. Another page from yesterday. There we go. Place says last time in this place.
All I know is my Rav
make themselves useful and provide.
My Rav had a chuppah, and under the chuppah he said to the chosin, where do you buy the ring? I bought it with our Visa card, we call it. Who's he belong to? Both of us. Here's my pen, my shaya.
Use the with the pen.
Yeah,
So it's a shaila. If you give him Kaddish for something you borrowed.
okay.
No, if you gave it to him as a
Gave
present.
them a
obviously.
couple.
But let's say you didn't want to give him the pen.
Oh,
He said, you know what happens?
Here, just
Take the pen, I'm going to lend you the pen. It's a big shaila. So come up,
I
we'll see.
mean, but the Ram doesn't work.
He can't give it to her, Matanos Lachzir. But let's say someone gave it to him as Matanos Lachzir.
Still, it doesn't work then.
So someone would say, like, yo, listen, now it says,
In my time,
now you can give it to her, and since the din is Matanos Lachzir, I can give you money back instead of the Matana. Or I can buy it back from her. I gave it to her Legamre. She doesn't have to give it back to me. They say, you know what, I'll give you $1 million, give it back to Ben, I got to the Rav. I can do that.
It depends what the problem with what we said this morning. What the problem with the Ram
Is it because of Gzeira, or is it Mikra Din? Oh, exactly. Very good. That's the whole shaila over here. What's the din of Matan Maslachzer? Why is it also? Is it also Mikra Din, or is it Gzeira? So, where are we holding? Why do you need Eidim for Kiyum Adovar?
The key. Oh, no, you don't know.
The Kiyum of a, why do you need Eidei Kiyum
You said it.
for a
Sorry.
Chalipin?
Your words don't make sense. You need Eidim for a kiyum.
Why do you need Eidei Kiyum for Kiyum
No,
Chalipin?
you need Eidim kiyum.
For Chalipin? Why?
No, for-
I'm buying a car, I need 80 kiyum for Chalipin. Why?
You
It's
you
already
need more
kiyum.
than any other king. Normally
Oh.
with the king,
Normally I come to you and I buy you a car, I give you the money, I'm kind of, right? But if I do a handkerchief,
and
right?
you need it.
Then, if there's no Eidim, they say, you know what, I'm backing out. What do you mean? We did a kinyan. No, there's no Eidim.
Because the king buzzer that we discussed.
I'm bothering with us.
So what? Okay, the
It
what?
doesn't have the strength of a.
Something to do with that, but.
Doesn't have.
And
doesn't
so
have-
why does Eidim help you? If it's a kinyan bozi?
It's
You get
because-
Eidim if it's a kinyan bozi? Comes on Rav Chaim, he says like this. Why do you ever need Eidim for a chasna, for a gerushin? What do you need Eidim for?
Eidim kiyum, you said.
We don't believe them. But why do you need Eddie Kiyum? So Chaim says the reason why you need Eddie Kiyum is a din in das. It's a ma'aseh that requires more than a regular amount of das to get married. You need a higher level of das. So we don't want people just going over this and saying, you want to marry me? Yeah, okay, here, you marry. You want to make sure they mean business. You mean business? There's Eidim here, you mean business. You can't back out of this. There's Eidim. You have to have a higher level of das. For Gerushin, for Kedushin, that's why you need Eddie Kiyum. It's not like Gerus Kotz of that and he has one. That's why you need Eddie Kiyum. Because you need a higher level of das. We have to make sure you have that, you've reached that level of das. Only through Eidim will you have that level of das. So also by Chalipin, he says, L'chaira, the whole din, anytime I buy something from you, you need das to do a kinyan. Some say you don't need das, you need das. If I buy something, you always need das.
That's why cotton is, he can't be
He's missing das. There's a difference between chalipin and any other type of kinyan. There's a fundamental difference. Any other kinyan has got a shaykhs to the thing you're buying. If I'm kind of this b'mashicha, I pull the chayfetz. Hagbah, I pick up the chayfetz. Even kinyan kesef, I'm giving you the shevi of the chayfetz. With chalipin, I'm giving you a handkerchief. This has got nothing to do with that, with the bottle of water. Who's that? The whole thing is just a gilui das. So memela, for a gilui das, you have to make sure that you really have the das. You need Ager.
We obviously don't pass me, right?
I think so. I don't think we do.
One
Yeah,
second,
so
let me-
we don't pass on that. But if you arrive, when you go buy your chametz from Brooke, make sure there's 3 people waiting in line to buy it.
One
from you.
second.
That they're not crying.
Otherwise, you don't have a chametz on Pesach if you arrive it every time. Unless you hold like the Rambam that says you don't really need a kinyan bichlal for shlichus, right? You don't need the kinyan for shlichus to make the
If you
road.
hold, you can sell it. If you hold, you can do it.
That's a chumrah. It's a chumrah, right? It's a chumrah. You don't really need to have the.
One second, it's a steer in Ebay what you said. You said.
Oh, you were listening? That's not good.
But Chaim says you need das.
Yeah.
You said here, it's only gilun das. It's not das.
Right. The whole kinyan is just to show that you have das for it to happen.
But it's not das.
There's actually no kinyan happening. It's just a maisa that you megali a da. You're showing you have a serious das over here.
So
Mainly you need the
clicking the
kinyan.
submit button on the internet is the thing he would does.
You're not gonna have
In
it by
terms of
mistake.
service, because in terms of
That's
service,
why
you have to check
sometimes there's a
the-
confirm
Yeah.
afterwards.
Double confirm.
You have to check the box saying you accept the terms of service.
So the Baal
It's a gilui das.
Tshuva wrote to the Rebbe, Rabbi, I want to become a Baal Tshuva. But all these kleinigkeiten, you know what they call it, small things, it's not for me. So 2 weeks later, Rabbi, you didn't write back. I did write back. I missed out a dot. That's why you never got it. You see, it was tremendous. That's fucking hell. Yeah.
Yep. So what the halal is a little bit of a sidetrack over here, but
We've sidetracked before.
imkva, it's happened before. What exactly is a matona maslach zir? Anyone has an explanation? What is a matona maslach zir? How you understand that? Gosh, this is difficult.
It's a trick. It's a trick.
What is it? What does it mean? What?
What do you mean?
What happens? What's going on? You want to borrow my car. I give it to you matana maslach zir. What does that mean? I give it to you, but tonight, some people say it's a machlek, you need to take kofel. You don't need to take kofel. I'm giving it to Benai, and you give it back to me.
What way
Then
is
it's
it different
yours.
than a halva?
Yeah, is it just? It looks like just the halva.
What happens if a team comes and falls on the car?
Why would you even think of that?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's happened.
So
So who did it belong
is it
to?
like a shoyer, like a borrow, like he's borrowing it, or?
Well, Chayri, he's chayv and everything.
So long
if he
as you
can't
have
give a
it.
kind tonight, the tonight was you got to give it back. If for any reason you didn't give it back, doesn't matter what happened. Chayri is much better than a shayel. Doesn't matter what.
Why? Fool. If I never took it, so it was always
No,
yours.
you took it, but it wasn't a matana.
Come
You
on.
got it.
Well, I
It
got
wasn't. You got it b'gneva.
It's yours. When it
You took it
happens, it's
b'gneva.
yours.
I didn't say you could take it. You took it. So you're a gun if you owe it to me.
So I-
You chayv for everything.
If you're not,
You even chayv for meisa machas malacha, right? You got. I'm giving it, but now you give it back to me. There's no way out of it.
He's asking the
So
Shiloh.
Eitzah, now I know. We learned something. You want to lend someone your car, you
I'm
don't.
sure about the same way.
For sure. You chayv everything. I'm giving it to you matana unless you give it back to me. You don't give it back, you're ganef. You got to give it back to me. You chayv for everything.
You don't give it back.
If you don't give it back, then you were ganef.
So the fella came to
That's a condition that I'm giving it to you. Did you give it back? If you didn't give it back to me, then I never gave it to you. You took it because of.
I'm not sure. If a ganav is calls him up and says, I did true, I want to give it back.
Yeah.
He's still a ganav?
yes.
Until he gives it back or after he gives it back.
Rashi
No.
inside.
He
Rashi.
said-
Calls when you give it back, you're kinyan exile, you chayv
Even
kefil.
when you give it
You chayv
back,
einsim.
even when you give it back, you're a ganaf. So Rashi in
But
Seder,
If
like
you give them that tanam and asla,
come back from Muhammad, even if he gave it back. Rashi now,
Yeah.
hey,
He didn't give you what.
It was a good
So
because
the matana never took effect.
Ah, the
Exactly.
thing.
No, not Fred.
Right.
So now, if you do that with the car,
Yeah.
so if I don't give it back,
Then
that
what?
means what? The original matana.
That was a
is
gazel.
batal.
You took it as a gazel. Yeah. It wasn't yours.
His kasha was
So
that
anything that.
the fella came to the Rav. He says, "I want to live with the Ashes Trafer."
Ashes Trefa.
Yeah, your kasha. He's dead. Halacha is a Trafer. He's dead. He's dying this year. Yeah. But at the moment, he's alive. Taki's not yours. Colesman, you got it? It's yours. Alright, what happens? Rasha, who's John? The time isn't called kinyan gezela in italics.
So
With a halva, if you don't give it back,
We
you're
break-
not a ganef. You got it.
You're a ganaf.
You got it appropriately.
So the way the Ritva and other Rishonim learn is, what's a Matan Maslach there? I'm giving you the handkerchief.
Yeah.
It's yours forever. It's yours 100% for everything, forever and ever.
But
But there's a condition, you give it back to me. But when I give it to you, it's yours 1000%. You can do whatever you want with it. You're going to give it back to me. That's the condition.
So that condition precludes you doing from whatever you want to. Let's say I want to kill the cow. You just gave me a cow.
You can't,
I
you
wanna
can't, you
shepherd
can't,
an
right?
idiot.
So you
So I
can do
don't
anything,
do
you can
that
do whatever
because
you
I have
want
to
as
do
long as
that.
you give it back.
you can't because you issue with it.
Therefore, let's say a guy says it's Kodesh. He's Makdashet.
It's not
So
his.
the Gemara says it's Tole. If the guy says Al-Manash Tarzir, you give it back to him, just it's Kodesh. Yeah, I gave it back to you. It's Kodesh. If he says Li, I want to be able to use it. You give it back Li. Then it's not Kodesh because he can't use it anymore. Unbelievable, hair splitting chiluk, right? In other words, you could be Makayim at night.
One second, you're
Comes on the Ketzais.
you got a problem. Ain't the Mishusha, ain't the Shaloi. You're saying that it's his.
It's 100% his. In his Rishos, it's his.
Oh.
It's in his Rishos. Just as it's tonight. He's got to be able to give it back. He's got to give it back. It's not his. It's not his. It's 1000% his. He's got it tonight. He's got to give it back to the guy.
So
Says the
does.
Ketzais. You know what Matana Maslachzer is? It's not 100% his. Be'etzem, it's the Matana Zman. I'm giving it to you for
X amount of time.
give it to you for a week.
Like in the summer.
Oh, don't use that.
Why not give it now? So first of all, this
It says with that log that you give it to everyone.
Oh, so what's the raya that the Ritva brings? What's the raya of the Ritva? That it's the Matana Maslachzer. Why get so hard all of a sudden? What's the raya that Matana Maslachzer, if the Ritva is a Tanai from the cotton? It says you can't give a lulav to a cotton, right?
You can't be back. You can't be. Yeah, you can't give it back.
Right. So if it would be Lizman, l'chayra,
You give it back.
Automatically.
it just goes back. Yeah, it's only yours. Shake it. It's back mine. Why can't you give it to the cotton? Because the cotton has to give it back to you. When he gives it back to you, you've got to make a new kinyan. If you don't make a kinyan,
It's not yours.
it's not yours. You can't be able with it now.
Yeah.
So if you can't be kind of it, it's mashma from there that you have to be kind of back. It wasn't just like it's yours and then poof it goes away. It's back to mine. You need a kinyan back. That's a raya. Therefore, the zman can't work. Maybe we'll see it inside. I printed it up. It's a phenomenal shtickle. There's two pieces of it. But, before you see it,
Don't lose what I gave you. Yeah.
before you see it, what, that safer?
Yeah. No, I gave you a Minchas Sailors. Just gave you. I printed it out for you.
What are we talking about? Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I already lost it. Okay, before you go there, let's take a look at the Rambam. Where's the Rambam? Here.
How is Altan kicking in? He can't remember. He's got one.
Here's the Rambam.
Yeah, precision.
We saw Chav Gimel, we're going to take the next halacha. We're taking Rambam very slowly. Halacha Chav Hey. On top page is Chav base, right?
I haven't got it.
Chav Dalet, sorry. Chav Dalet.
Right at the bottom.
Ha'imel le'isha arya mukadeshes li bedina zeh. Amadash nachzirei li.
And we could dash it.
Ein mukadeshes.
Huh?
Bein yachzir, bein lo yachzira. She's not mukadeshes, whether she gives it back or she doesn't give it back. This is a matana al manas la'achzir. Right? Shem lo yachzira, so eloi niskay matnai.
Oh,
If he
but-
doesn't give it back, the tnai wasn't mitkoyin, and therefore it's gazel.
Yeah. It never happened.
Right? Ve'em yachzira, so if she does give it back, הרי לא יננס ולא יגיע לידו כלום.
We haven't got that. Top one.
Huh?
We haven't got the top line.
That's the other side.
Turn the page.
No, it's not there.
Oh,
Close down.
here's a different one.
Oh, you got a bad copy? Typical.
I've got the St. James's edition.
So we'll read it again for those who weren't paying attention. Ve'em yachzirasai. If she does give it back, הרי לא יננס ולא יגיע לידו כלום. What's strange about this lashon of the Rambam? First of all, how does he understand tonight? Matan maslach there. a regular tonight, right?
Like the rich,
Yeah, classic. I'm giving it to you. I'm an aslach. Right? So why is she not Mukadeshes? What would you say if you write him up? Not Mukadeshes, because what? If she
Never
gives
got
it
it.
back?
She never got it.
No.
She has to give it back. If she gives it back, she like any Mukadeshes. So we have a Gemara in Kiddushin Dafal. The Gemara said, out to chalipin, or because of chalipin. How does Rambam look like he's saying? He's saying because it's Gzeira, Midrabban, she's not married? Or Rambam saying Midoraisa?
Sounds like a practical.
He's saying Midoraisa, she's not married, right? He's not saying Midrabban and Gzeira out to chalipin. She's not married. Because she don't have got anything. So why is Rambam saying, Loi Nenes? She wasn't Nana. Strange
Supposed to
logic.
get something. She
You
never
see,
actually
you
got
say,
anything.
huh? Right. So it comes along
She doesn't
that.
have anything in her hand that she can use, she can benefit from.
He didn't give her anything.
Oh.
He didn't give her anything.
He did. You say he did. He gave it to her. It was hers. Now it's no longer hers. So the wrong thing. At the end of the day, because she had to give it back, so she doesn't have
Is
anything
it,
that she
so,
can
so we,
have enough of.
so what you're saying is the reason why Matan Maslachzer never works is because there's no Hanal.
Harelo nanas.
She's Nana. She has a Ferrari for 2 weeks. What do you mean?
Why
Why should he then?
1 second. His kasha is the Rambam's kasha. What happens in those 2 weeks?
Once she has a Hanal, once she has a Hanal of Shover $1,000, Hanal, Shover put the for
even if she
sure.
doesn't drive the Ferrari 1 meter, she just sits in the Ferrari.
Nanas. People pay a lot of money even to rent a wedding dress. They pay 4,000 shekels for the night, right? So for sure, you give her a nice fat diamond ring for the night. Well, it's not worth half a shekel. It's worth this brutto, right? So she's definitely nanas. So Elamar, you have to say, Rambam, he didn't have that das. It wasn't for the das of no. It was because he wants to give a kesef. And the kesef should take you back, loy nanas. Comes along the Mulim and says, you see from here, you say, Harry loy nanas, even though he gave her money. Says the Avli Miluim, and the
Simon.
Ketzais, I think it was the same person.
Yeah, Simon.
Right?
Simon.
I printed out this Choftes, Chofches.
Oh, yeah.
He comes on and he says, you know what? All moment Kiddushin needs to have a no. It's a famous klal we saw before. Kesef Kiddushin you have to be nana from. It's not enough to give Kesef Kiddushin. It's Kesef Yesh by no. If she can't be nana, she's not Mekudeshes. But it's still strange. Why does he just say, Ein kan Kesef?
Was concerned again for a week. She had enough of him.
Oh.
But he wasn't Mekudeshes with that.
What do you
He was
mean?
Mekudeshes with Kesef. She's nana from having this. We'll see. We'll
She
see
had a
David.
Ferrari for a week,
I'm not going to
so
explain.
yeah,
what- I'm not going to explain. We'll see David Bloom. He explains much
We have
better.
a problem. If she does something during that week, does it work?
During that week, is she Mekudeshes?
Oh, first kasha. Second kasha. She gives it to him, the car.
She's nanas. She's nanas from it.
Is he kind Is it
He
enough?
has to give it. He has to give it back. As
No,
long as
is it enough of hers that she can give to somebody else?
I'm going to try and cover the air conditioning here. Is it?
Enough of hers that she can. So why is he going
She
there?
can give it to whoever she wants.
Oh, so she does have a no.
She can lend it.
Yeah.
Can't give it. She has to give it back.
Yeah. So she got her
Does anything
no.
go on there?
Yeah. Went on.
Why not?
1 second. So
Bigger one. Sounds like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
sorry, we're stuck somewhere in the middle. Has she got her no or hasn't she got? If she got her no, the no should be,
The Rambam says lay nanas. She's not nana.
even if she does have a no, just for
She has a no, but she's not nana from the kesef. She's nana from something else. She doesn't have a no kesef.
You'd even say that the hana she had when she had it wasn't hana because she knows she has to give it back. So it wasn't say.
1 second. If I give
1 second, Roy.
I give you a cake and you eat it, you've eaten it.
It's
finished.
gone. Okay, I'm not giving it back.
Ah.
If you give me a piece of cake and you tell me you have to give it back to me in an hour, so I know enough from it.
So, in a nutshell, so the Avnei Miluim comes along and says, right, that what's Matan Maslach there? It's a kinyan lizman, right? Kinyan lizman. So I hear you all asking, what's the difference between kinyan lizman and shayla? Just lending a guy something. Here, I'm giving you my watch for 10 minutes, or I'm lending you my watch for 10 minutes. Is there a difference there? Does anyone hear a difference?
Lochem.
Huh?
Lochem.
There's some
It's
technical.
considered yours.
Is it yours or is it not yours? What's the
Oh.
difference? Why? Why is this not? It's not like that. hey, I'm giving my esrog for 10 minutes, or I'm lending you my esrog for 10 minutes.
Yes.
What's the difference? Is there a difference? Or it's exactly the same thing.
1 second.
If the esrog dries out, and now I want to return it, so the bottom has a claim,
Yeah.
you didn't return what I
I'm
lent
giving it to you for 10 minutes. I'm lending you for 10 minutes. I'm giving you for 10 minutes. You're going to give it back.
He
It's
said I didn't do it, it wasn't a pshia, I treated, I
That
took care of it properly.
doesn't matter.
It's a machmas malacha
I
or
hear.
whatever.
I hear. Why? Why is there a difference?
So
Why is there a
I
difference
give
in
it back to
halacha?
you that I'm potter. Whereas
One
the
second.
matana v'naslahach there,
No matol zachir. The way he's learning matol zachir means it's a matol zman. I'm
What?
giving it to you now for 10 minutes.
1 second.
Or I'm lending it to you now for 10 minutes. What's the difference?
What's that?
It sounds like exactly the same
so
thing.
then it was mine fully, so
Oh.
even if the esrog wilts and.
I gave it to him. I gave it to one. I gave it to him
I still
100%.
have to give you back the, I'm tired because I have to give you back the.
Hilchus Shoyal is kol hanor sheli, kol hanor shelo, it is totally mine. Here you're saying it's not mine.
So it could be what you're saying, both of you, what the Ksai says, but just in not such a long dish.
You mean Kso's got it wrong?
What's a matana
I really like
zman?
that one.
What's a matana zman? Matana zman. Everything has the goof and the peiros, right? If I give you a field, I give you the field, and you can eat the peiros,
Yeah.
right? So when I give you when I lend you something,
Yeah.
I'm only lending you for the peiros.
Yeah.
I never let you take the actual goof adova. I'm only letting you use the peiros.
Yeah.
I give you my car, the peiros is to drive around town with it, right? When I give you a matana
You
lizman,
have to return it with as much gas.
when I give you matana lizman, I'm giving you the actual car. The car's yours, not just for the usage you buy. The car's yours.
And then
Therefore,
nafka mina.
lachem. If I give you the actual esrog, it's yours, lizman. You could now be yaitzer with it.
Yeah.
Also, if you can use it for different shimushim that it's not meant for.
Make an esrog liqueur.
And esrog can't use
What's your
it because the goof's not his.
Let's say a car.
The shayal, the goof's not his.
You're right, you can.
So you
If you're
could
breastfed, that's what it
oh,
was, if you're
Okay,
breastfed,
it's
that's what
mine.
it's
It's
made
mine.
for.
you do whatever you want with it.
There
If you're
was,
breastfed, that's a
breastfed, what it
shayla.
was made
there
for.
was a
Exactly,
hold up
like
on the
you're not.
motorway and the Chassidim got out and were dancing on the car and they videoed it. Yeah. He's been mailing, you haven't, if you're choice, therefore, matana.
So why? So lefi the k'tzais, why do you need it tonight? That's going to be the question. Lefi the k'tzais,
Yeah.
why would you ever need it tonight? Matala zalachzer, al manas, but now you're going to give it back. It's matala zman. Why do you need it tonight? Because otherwise the guy's going to keep it.
Oh,
What? Why is it not just I'm giving you matana this man? Why are you giving you al menat shetazir? What is he asking? Shon?
Why would you need it? Yeah, why do you need it tonight? Why say I'm giving it to you for 2 minutes? What's it tonight? I'm going to ask you to give it back. We'll see inside if you have time. We'll take a look inside. You'll see it's bit.
Is it tonight make up Neruvin?
It's a machlekes. He doesn't get into that whole sugi if you need to have it.
There's no difference saying it like that. I'm giving you 2 for 10 minutes, I'm just give it back. Unless you're
You
required
don't
by
need it tonight.
tonight
If
to
you,
be a
yeah,
tonight
if you
kind of
decide you don't have it. The Ran, is there a difference between kinyan? The question is like this: the Ran says that every kinyan lizman is a kinyan Paris
only.
only. It's always a kinyan Paris. So
Yeah,
the
because
Ksais
you
is
have-
not going to work with the Ran.
Every
Is there a difference between a kinyan? Is there a difference between a kinyan guf
So-
and a kinyan leperis?
Hold on, so if he's
A
giving
kinyan
her-
guf is one, a kinyan
He's
peris.
giving her $1,000 on the Maslahazar for the wedding.
Yeah,
She can take that and invest it for the month.
the prophet
She
says.
keeps
Yeah,
the profits.
yeah,
As long as he gets the money back.
yeah.
So then she is nannis. If it's for the Paris, so she's nannis. So then why can't I say?
Why is it she's got nannies? It's a kasha. We'll see. And the question is going to be, what happens? It's a whole shayla in the Shulchan Aruch. What happens if someone is mekadesh to isha halach l'maisa? He says this. He gives a matana mazlahzer, and he says ba'anal of this chayfetz. That's the shaila. He says he's mekalish matana maslachzer, and we'll see. The Ketzais brings a shita.
According to the Rambam, it's not. She's not Bakudish. Oh,
If the Ram, let's see. We'll take a look at the side.
oh, because she has
It is
that
good.
milk.
Only if he does.
Yeah.
Right. That's the deal.
Oh.
But here she did get.
Oh.
Normally in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
In this case, she got enough.
Right.
Shit.
Let's take a look. And you have the Avim Minum. They give it to you. No, here. There's two Avim Minums. There's this one. And there's this
Want to
one.
be enough at the moment.
There's two different ones. I'm not sure we have time to see both.
So
But,
I'll guess. I thought you
yeah.
Steve Carlton, is the same.
There's Chof Ches. It's Sifkot.
It's coffee, is that coffee before or after?
It's no, turn the page on and Nun Gimel. Turn the page. Kuf Chof Tes at the top. There's two pages. One is Kuf Chof Tes at the top.
I have Kufman.
You have another one? There should be another page here. Kuf Chof Tes.
The Mishnah.
You got the Kuf Chof Tes? Yeah.
This is Kufman.
Here's Kuf Chof Tes. There's two. Take one of those.
You're too clever, you go to the other one.
So,
I know some of the
says the Avnei Meluim, aka the Ketzais. And Nais Matan Mas Lachzer. You know, take a look in the Shulchan Aruch. We read the Ramah, the one line. Nais Nechavei Matan Mas Lachzer. V'alach HaMekabel V'Kiddush B'Isha Hari Zu Mekudesh.
Oh!
You hear? This is your kasha, right?
Oh.
If I gave you a Matan Mas Lachzer and you went ahead and Mekadosh Isha with it, look at that dress. No shine, no suffix, 100% is good.
So when he gets it back,
Doesn't say that.
doesn't say.
Doesn't say it.
Or what happens if he doesn't get it back?
No, we have to
You
pay
have
for
money.
the
So you're gone
matana.
if you got money.
He has to pay for the matana.
So that's the story. You're Rov in the Kiddushin. He didn't have to say Al Lachzer. You can give him a pen. Give him culture with this.
Traditional store.
He could give him Al Lachzer. Sorry, yeah. Look at what you want. Take a look in the Ketzais. Let's see if he agrees with this. Kasev Rosh Pregel Levagaz Gabi Esrog B'Matan Al Lachzer.
Nun Gimel.
Nun Gimel. The Tzarech Sheet Neule B'Matan Gemura. Al Lachzer Yishiyachzer. It's Matana Gemara 100% on condition the guy gives it back. After this guy shakes lulav with all the Chavanas Ari, then when you give it back, you got to give it back with all the kinyanim of a regular matana, right? I'm giving you as a matana until your yaitza for 5 minutes. And then it goes back to be mine, lo yotzabai. To have a k'moy shol. That's called you just lent the guy something. Calls a divrei ha-rosh, right? We're lending someone something, that's not called a matana maslachzer. The teida. So it's interesting, when someone...
Giving for a certain amount of time, like this to for 10 minutes,
Yeah,
then it automatically reverts back to me.
that's not good.
That's more like a halva.
That's a shayl, you're lending it to the guy.
Manas lahatzer, you have to give it back to me. Until you give it back to me, it's still yours.
He said no.
Huh?
And that is an afkarin or be a katan, like you said.
Yeah.
Katan.
And the shayla is, when a guy comes over to you and says, can I use your lulav? Do you have to tell him it's a matana maslachzer, or it's like,
Yes.
is there like a umdana that everyone knows you're doing
Yes,
matana
the
maslachzer?
rabbi said back then,
I feel
when you go in the street on look,
You have to do matana
Thursday,
maslachzer?
when you go in the street on Thursday Sukkot, you have to say matana maslachter.
But still, we say you can do it, but then I'm not that saying.
Uh-huh.
You never seen the Bachir? Matana maslachter.
Question is if it's a maker, you need to do it, or it's like, it's
It looks-
umdana, everyone knows.
Looks good for the video.
One guy buys it, one guy in yeshiva buys and
Yeah. אבל אם לא יהיה במתנה עד שתדע, תביא כמו שואל. ותדע, נדום לכם דף מבוא ומבייס, לא יליקני אם יש לולב ולינוקה ויהיה בטוב, you don't give your lulav to a kid on Chag.
Thursday.
Yinukah mikni yakneloi mikni, because the kid has got enough das to be kind himself. He doesn't have enough das with the rice that they give you back. Right? If he never has to give it back, so need the cotton love back knuyehu. So even though he can't give it back, and it automatically goes back to Mela. So that can't be pshat. Elevada itzach larzoi belitnei b'matana v'kata lavayknei hu hakan shoynei. The whole reason why it doesn't, that's the Rosh's proof. The Rosh's proof that matana was larzoi means he's got to do kinyan back, is otherwise it's cotton. There's nothing wrong with giving it to a cotton. Vikla made the bother, zit the avning with the next paragraph. Vikla made the bother, I'm in practice neicherin. Shar zen noten lecha b'matana mach zachziroi. I'm giving you my cow, matana was lachzir. Vikli shai, the guy was ubechochem and he's makdash it. Hari zeh kodesh umuchzor. It's kodesh and he gives it back to him. Elim ki namar shetachzireu li. The chozu li kama. If he says you have to give it back to me, then it's not kodesh. Why?
It never was yours.
Ve'eche amar kodesh umuchzor. How could the Gemara say it's kodesh umuchzor? Kevin the almanaz lahachzir hayne b'matana. Became ishu kodesh. Heicha neisen b'matana acha shehu kodesh. This is the Ksaisa's massive kasha on the Heilige Rosh. The Gemara says before a guy can be maklish as matana. Almanaz lahachzir. How can you kodesh matana as lahachzir? How can you give the guy a kinyan back? Once it's kadosh, you need to give it back as a kinyan. Can I give makdish to someone hekdish? No, it's not mine. It's moment gavaya. How can he be makdish the moment back? That's a massive kasha on the Rosh. Why didn't you have this kasha? I don't know.
They left it for the key baby.
He brings at the bottom the Sivas answers. I don't really like it. Take a look at the number 112. I don't really like to read the bottom paragraph while we're doing a Ketzai, but we'll take a look. You thought I was going to say I don't like the Nesivas?
Yeah, the way he sounded, you can't. Nice fellow. Senior? Wasn't as far.
V'chein ikshe Nesivas, Simon Reisha V'nalav, I'm Bilchus Baruch, Shetir, the Be'emes, Shem Kima Tnai, Sagi B'chazar B'metzias, Av B'she'eni Makne. You know, so he says, you know what he's saying? He says, you know what, because the tonight wasn't that you makne it back to me, the tonight was you give it to me. And you gave it to me. That's called you gave it to me. It's b'shusai. The Ksaisa's understanding is a shalai, he's going to give it to him shalai. Zog the Minchas Baruch, that it's enough that you give it to him physically. And that to be mekayim the tonight. Okay? Mash kosav ha'shem sheyiknu le b'shas chazara. The Rishon said before she's going to be maknet to him. Because the question is the kotter, what's the problem with the kotter? The chazar kusher reduktan. If he just says to give it to you, the kotter can give it to you. The whole problem with the kotter is he can't be maknet to you. No?
Yeah.
So why do you say you have to do a kinyan? I'm a couple of chazar sheyuchalakayim by mitzvahs lulav. Okay, we're going off the debate part. I'm not sure exactly what he's saying. Take a look inside Minchas Baruch, the Nesivas.
Who's Minchas Baruch?
Or Baruch, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Very good Baruch.
Take a look. Why much chassid bezet b'k'sayis ha'choshen? He quotes Elik k'sayis ha'choshen. Wow. He says much kasafti. Look at the much kasafti. I wrote myself there. V'sham aleisi luli divar rosh v'ritva. Lule diva rosh harita, the matana was lachziu, kumash mai. It's a matana, mazachziv. Ain't by t'nai da kna. Ela shenaisim matana esok achi yetzi by. Matana gumora lizman. What's a matana lachzir? It's a matana gumora lizman. Much because of Rosh Hashanah kishol. What are you talking about? That's a regular show. Shom b'kneis ha'chayshim mevur. The shol ain't a matana lizman. Rakshal peiros. Avo kinyan aguf agzman mikei kinyan aguf. Shayla is only for the peiros. Matan azman is for the guf. So that's why it's not called a shayla, a shol. It's not a shol. It's matan aguf. Okay, we're off the time. I don't want to go further, but take a look at the rest of it. Maybe we'll see tomorrow. Actually, I think it's pretty sadistic. He goes into. If you get a chance, we'll see tomorrow. Be'ezrat Hashem, the two. I shouldn't have to punish you that I came 5 minutes late.
I can't sleep now.
Why? We got the main kasha of the Ketzais on. Anyone has a teretz to the kasha of the what's it called? Avnei Meluim on the Rosh.
I've got cash with them.
From carbon. How can this guy go heavy makdish? Right?
I've got cash on the Yavnim Bloom on the Ksos. Yeah? Sorry. I've got cash on the Yavnim Bloom on the Ksos.
From the other one that says.
That's for you.